unbelievably. It's always a challenge for me with YouTube. I think we are actually live streaming. Jeff Moody, Jeff Moody MD, jeffmoodymd.com, jeffmoody.com, Facebook, jeffmoody.com. Burnout Breakthroughs for you. This is why we're here. We're here for you because we want to get you better. This is my job to help you. So, and luckily, I know just unbelievable human beings, and we are like, I'm the luckiest guy, I think, in the Northern Hemisphere today, because I have one of the top 10 human beings I have ever met in my entire life with me today. This guy with Team USA, he's representing, is Matt Scott, Heart Team USA. Matt is one of the, again, most unbelievable people I've ever met. He is a Rio gold medal winning Paralympian wheelchair basketball player. He's been on the national team for since you were 5, I think. About 40 years, 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, 2003 was my first year with it.
Yeah, and he's if it wasn't for that pandemic, he'd be a gold medal winner again, most likely in Tokyo. But now we're going to have to freaking wait another year to see the excellence unfold. I'm so thrilled to have him here. The real reason why I want to have him here is A, because he's an amazing person, but B, I feel like everybody has burnout to a certain extent, and I'm thrilled to have him here to talk about burnout in at a high level and what you do to get through that. So just Matt, thanks for being here.
I want to take you everywhere I go. I need that kind of introduction. Yeah, exactly.
I'll be your personal walk up, music. Although it'll just be me talking,
I'm just gonna need a recording from that first bit. That's quite the introduction, and I really
you can just play that back whenever you feel a little down, a little blue, boom, like the pump up.
Exactly.
All right, let's do this. Let me take a couple minutes and just tell a little bit about your story, your history, and
absolutely
let people know where you're coming from. So,
well, hello guys, how you doing? And good afternoon from Europe. I'm actually hitting you guys up from Europe. Exactly. My name is Matt Scott. I come from Detroit, Michigan, and I was born with a disability called spina bifida, which is a congenital birth defect. I'm 35 years old. As much as I try not to let that hinder me down, but yeah, no, I'm a 35-year-old Paralympian. Going for my 5th games. Tokyo 2021 will be number 5 for me, and hopefully it will be my last one, because I want to hang up the jersey after Tokyo 2021. My Paralympic journey started in 2003, 2004, in Athens, and since then I've been through Athens, Beijing, London, Tokyo, and now fingers crossed that Tokyo goes on. I've been playing abroad professionally since 2008. I've played 5 years in Turkey, played 2 years in Italy, and 3 years in Germany, and now I believe to be starting my stint here in Spain. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice. I know the paperwork stuff can sometimes be more challenging than the basketball.
Absolutely, and the pandemic.
How have you been doing with that? Are you guys okay? Your team's okay? Your area is okay in Spain?
I stay safe. I keep it with my loved ones, and just kind of staying in small groups. I do my training with in small doses with a couple of people.
Same group.
Exactly. Just keeping everything consistent. Here where I am in Spain right now, there's a mask protocol everywhere you go. It doesn't matter if you're in a shop, crossing the street. You just gotta go with the protocol. So we're safe right now. Everything's going okay, and hopefully October 31st we'll have our first game.
Nice. Is that going to be like a no spectator thing, or it's only on TV, or very social distance type stuff? Have they told you?
So usually wheelchair basketball has 1 million fans in the back. No, I'm joking. No, so usually we, it depending on who's playing and what the magnitude of the competition. But we do bring in quite some crowds out here in Europe. But unfortunately, I believe the first protocol will be no fans. I think
Yeah.
Just team personnel, which is fine with me because, we haven't played basketball officially since March.
Right.
And I'm itching. I know the topic today is burnout, but I'm so hungry for it right now. Like burnout is not the issue right now.
That's great.
I'm hungry to get back out on the floor.
You're burning up. You're not burning out.
Exactly. Yeah. It's burning.
So okay. So that's really my first question, my biggest question. Like, clearly you're a world-class athlete, and I think people would think when you're at that level, you're so motivated and you never have burnout, and you're just like, I'm the Michael Jordan of wheelchair basketball. Like I'm the man. This is I eat, drink, breathe, sleep, every day, all the time. I'm doing wheelchair basketball. It's all about me all the time. And oh, you're sideways now.
I know. Wait just a second. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
We're good.
Nice. Right. I thought you might have gone to the southern hemisphere. You're upside down.
I had to keep you guessing.
So okay. So true or false? Have you ever had burnout? I guess that's my real question.
Absolutely, and I think that's something that kind of has a negative stigma within the sport community, the athletic community.
Like, how could you be burned out? Like,
exactly. I think the thought is, we play a game that we love to play. It's something that we love to do, because real honestly, my job is my dream. What I do is what I've always dreamed about.
Yep.
But at the same time, we aren't robots. We go through things. There's things that happen within our personal lives. There's things that happen with our families, and things that happen with our loved ones that can knock our motivation down a peg. And I think it's great, especially when people sort of destigmatize what it means to be burnt out, and just kind of demystify the whole notion behind it. And that's why I think books like yours and what you've written is so important to us all, because we kind of take that stigma away and kind of really realize that it happens to everyone at every level, at every occupation.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Matt. Now, I know you have had some pretty significant personal health challenges in the last year. I mean, that knocked you back, I know, probably a year. Are you feeling like you're kind of getting back to fighting strength, I guess?
I can finally say I'm definitely at fighting strength again. Last year was a big mountain to climb. I went into septic shock.
Wow.
Went into a 7 to 8 day coma. Stayed in the hospital with just repairing my pressure sores for about 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
And the recovery from that was that was trying. It was challenging, and just kind of seeing myself in a light that I didn't think I was going to have to see myself. People were visiting me in the hospital, and you could just see it in their eyes. They felt bad for me, and I'm used to seeing people seeing me, sort of, reveling at the fact that, I can lift that much weight, or I can push my wheelchair that fast, or I can score that many points. And now they're looking at me and like, hey man, I hope that you can make it back.
Let's pull through. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was very motivating for me. I had a lot of people in my corner. I had a lot of people that believed in me. And I've always been the guy, my entire career, it's been the whole like no excuses thing. And
you're the leader, you're the man.
Exactly. So with that, I didn't feel like I needed to. I felt like I basically had to for them. My mother believed in me. My family believed in me. All my teammates believed in me. And if it wasn't for that sort of outright of just pouring in of love and support, I'm not sure that, if I would have been able to reach back to this point where I am right now. I had a lot of supporters and a lot of love that got me here.
That's awesome. So then the question would be, do you feel like, clearly that was a big health challenge, but from a burnout standpoint, do you feel like having that support around you is pretty, obviously people think, oh, he's a world-class athlete, he's super internally motivated, but I think there's and you tell me, I feel like there must be an internal component, but there's also that support component as well.
100%, especially when it comes to burnout, because I wake up every day. I set an alarm for a crazy hour. I'm up before the sun, and I do that because I want to. That those are the internally motivated things. I get there because it doesn't matter what time I get to the gym, or it doesn't matter what time I make these shots or get my workout in, as long as I get them in. But I'm hungry for it, and that I'm motivated internally to do that. But I will say, when it comes to the real work starts when the motivation ends, right? So when that motivation is over, it's really nice to have those people that you need to be accountable for. I told my other 11 teammates that I'm going to work my ass off in order for us to win a gold medal in Tokyo 2021. So when I wake up in the morning, I know that I'm accountable to those guys. This is a big part of their lives. I know that I have to do my part in order for them to sort of live their legacy. I know that I have to be accountable for the things that I said. I get on and I tell people, I'm gonna do my best to win a gold medal. Oh, that's a year ago. It doesn't matter what the situation is now. Now we got another year. We need to work. We need to wait.
The commitment.
Exactly.
And you kind of like, you have your whole team. You're kind of accountability partners, so to speak, and accountability teammates. So it's like you made the commitment to them, and you're like, hey, dude, buddies, I expect you to make that commitment to me too. We're all gonna be rowing in the same direction. So
we don't want to let them down. And we have on Team USA's wheelchair basketball team, we have what we call gold medal standards. And there's things that we can do every day that moves us towards our goal, and there's things that we can do every day that can kind of take us further away from our goal, and that's in everybody's life. But I know those things that I can do personally to move myself closer to the goal. So I need to take those steps every day to do so.
Is that those gold medal standards, is that something you can share, or is that I don't want to break like a Team USA secret and let everyone else in, so now
that's a little bit of the secret sauce. But a lot of it is pretty self-explanatory. It's just, holding yourself to a higher standard. It's being the bigger person, being an ambassador out on the floor, because it's more than just going out and scoring a bunch of baskets. It's about conducting yourself as a Team USA basketball player,
because you're representing your country.
Absolutely. Everywhere I go,
even now, like when you're playing for your team in Spain, you're like, hey, I'm on Team USA. So
that's 100% true.
Cool. That's very cool. Mm-hmm. What do you think what I'm trying to say is, well, two things. Number one, your point about like the real work begins when motivation ends. I think Muhammad Ali, somebody asked him one time, like, hey, how many push-ups do you do? He's like, I don't start counting until it starts burning. So he's like, I don't care how many I do. I don't even start the work until it starts burning. He's like, that's when I start counting, So, and I think that's exactly what you are. But the other question I have for you, do you feel, because of that, and I think sometimes the added challenges, and you tell me, the added challenges of being a Paralympic athlete, do you think that actually increases your burnout, or you think it's kind of the same for everybody? But because then clearly there's some extra challenges, I think, for you sometimes. So
I think it's pretty even across the board. I think that, sure, that we as Paralympians, we have challenges that are very visible, that you can see clear. When someone sees me across the street, you can see me from half a mile down the road, and you see what my challenge is. You see what my disability, what hinders me. Whereas, a swimmer, a long jumper, a sprinter in the Olympics, they may be having things that are really, really holding them back that you don't actually see. And it could be holding them back way more, like whether it be some sort of anxiety, whether it be some sort of, I don't know, financial trouble or trouble with their family.
Injury, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anxiety can be crippling, It's just, there's things that people that are experiencing every day that we don't necessarily see. But as Paralympians, you see it, like, oh, okay, that guy doesn't have a leg. okay, this person's visually impaired. That guy's in a wheelchair. So I think burnout is across the board. I think we all know personally what our challenges are. We know what the adversity is that we're fighting, and we take those challenges every day. And the burnout comes when those things start to become a bit more. You kind of forget your why. I know every day. I know why I do it. Sometimes I hit a wall and there's a challenge that hits me, and it feels like it's sort of overcoming me. But I realize why I'm doing it. I realize why am I waking up every day and to working my butt off, and why am I trying to win this gold medal? What makes me go further? So as long as I put that into perspective, I know what my why is. Then the burnout usually takes care of itself.
Okay, so what is your why, Matt Scott?
My why has always had. So I will say that my why is constantly changing, because when I first started playing wheelchair basketball, when I wanted to be on the national team, I was just a young kid coming out of Michigan, grew up just with my friends, and
right.
we were playing basketball in like the street ball court. And
right.
when I first started making the national team, I wanted to do it for them. I wanted to do
right.
it for the people that I knew were struggling, the city that I came from. I wanted to do it for them. And then I left and I went to college, and then now I'm abroad, and now I'm here. So now I kind of feel like I'm not doing it necessarily for them anymore. Now I'm doing it for, okay, my family's proud of me. I do it for my family. This is great. They're all proud of me. I won this gold medal. Everybody's happy. But now my why is for myself. I feel like over the last year, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, and I've survived some things that might kill the next person. I can't continue to just do the things that I love for other people. Sometimes it just has to be about doing something that I love while I'm still here under the sun and appreciating it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, and I think when you have kind of that kind of brush with kind of mortality that you had, you're like, holy crap, this is not an unlimited ride. I don't have an unlimited ticket. This is a time limited offer. I think we all have that. And it really puts it into focus. That's kind of like the same thing with me with my burnout. I was like, holy crap. I'm like, I'm not going to live forever. I'm not going to, have my kids around forever. I'm not going to, have a great family support forever. We got to fix this. We got to get it handled, get the things accomplished. And it's like, what are the things that are a priority for you, and what are you going to do to get it done? So, and if you need to handle some things like health issues or burnout or both, you get on it, you get working on it. So
that's 100% true. So, I still, all those whys that, where I come from, and my family, my friends, and all the people that are proud of me, those are still very, very, it's sort of an all-encompassing why.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I've got to do it because I love it.
Yeah. That's cool. When I don't know if you remember this part of the book or not, but like I got to the point where I got super burned out and kind of like got super frustrated, broke my keyboard, at my office one day. And we have a question from our online viewers. Have you ever had your own keyboard moment? I'm kind of a hothead, so that's probably my deal. But
so I am lucky enough to be sponsored by my wheelchair company.
Oh, nice.
And that is an advantage for me. So I get all my equipment, my wheels, and all that stuff. And I have definitely taken a wheel and just,
it's a taco.
It's a perfect circle. And I have definitely taken one of those things and just slammed it. And good, lucky enough for me, I've always been surrounded by great people. I had a coach by the name of Tracy Chenoweth back when I was just getting on the national team, and I play very emotionally, and I always have. I play, I don't just go out there and just, I'm not just out there bouncing the basketball around. Yeah. Like I put my whole heart into it.
Well, it means something to you. That's
absolutely.
That's why there's emotion. It's
it always does. It always does. So when I lose a game, I mean, I'll tell you what, Dr. Moody, I don't like to lose at anything. You know, you could, if you had a conversation with my girlfriend, we play cards every day. If she beats me at cards, like, I don't want to talk to her for an hour. You know what I mean? It's like,
I want a rematch.
Yeah. It's like my little brother, we play video games. Like, he beats me in a video game. Like, don't even talk to me. Like, I love to win. So I have had one of those moments, maybe some of those moments where I'm just, you know, I'm breaking some equipment, I'm doing that. But like I said, I had this coach by the name of Tracy Chenoweth, who told me that I need to refocus, repurpose that sort of emotion, repurpose that energy.
Yeah.
And you know, and find out what it is. What did I do to create this emotion? You know, did I do everything I could to win? So then now I kind of approach it a bit differently.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. I say, like, every day is a school day. Like, I'm trying to learn something every day. So we have one other question from our online people. I think this is a great question. As a strong, independent leader, was it hard to accept help from others when you were sick? And that's a thing for me. Like, it's super hard for me to accept help from other people. So
I, if anybody knows me, you know, I'm one of those guys. You know, I'm taking 7 bags of groceries because I'm, you know, it's you know, one trip or die trying.
Yeah,
I'm going up. It's, you know, it's I'm that type of guy. So it was definitely hard, but it was necessary. It was something. It was like when I first woke up from that coma, I couldn't hold a glass of water and bring it to my face. You know, it was so necessary. So it wasn't as difficult for me to accept the help. It's more difficult for me to let the people in, to trust them. You know, it was like, let my guard down and like, okay, yeah, I can trust them.
Because you're like, I'm the man, I'm in charge. I'm always the leader of my team. And
right. And I'm never like, I don't really like to appear vulnerable. I don't like it. You know, it's something I've always struggled with. But I think living that situation, I believe that really allowed me to let myself be vulnerable now. And I don't really worry about that stuff anymore.
And same, not at like a 1/100th or 1/1 millionth of the level that you're at, but like, same thing, I think, for physicians. Like, we're supposed to know everything and be the person, and you're always available, and you can fix anything. And you're like you're not supposed to, like, you know, one of the things we talk about in our, you know, in the bad old days when I was doing my training, it's like, you know, the only 2 things you don't want to be seen as is lazy, or even worse is you don't want to be seen as weak when you're doing your training. And it's like, you know, like, wow, if that's the 20 years of kind of like socialization and training you've been through, like, it's hard to then accept the fact that you need help sometimes. And then if you're burned out, you need help with that.
Even more. So, you know, I think it's great these days. The sort of, it's become cool to promote mental health now, and I really think that's great. Especially, you know, not especially, but, you know, me being an athlete, I think that is great. But it's great across the board in any occupation. I don't think that mental health was so celebrated for, you know, so many years, and I think now we're at a point where it is.
That's a great point. And I don't know if you're following, if you get a chance to watch American sports, but Dak Prescott, he's the quarterback for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He has had a lot of issues in the last 6 months. I think his brother actually committed suicide, and he said he was having a lot of struggles with depression and anxiety, and came out about that. And he's like, you know what, this is the only way I can be to be a good leader for my team and to help people who might be in the situation that my brother was in. And I think, you know, people in positions of, you know, I would say, you know, people really look up to you. You know, people in those positions, they can use that position as a forum for, you know, bringing, I call it normalizing the conversation around burnout, around mental health, you know, those types of things. And I'm super happy that you brought that up. So, and I'm really proud of you. I mean, you know, like I said, you're one of the top 10 people I ever met, but I think that's great that that you can admit that. And I think you know, helps me say that too. Like, I think it's good to be, you know, you got to kind of take off the Superman cape every once in a while and
It's true.
and
It's
say,
true.
hey, I might need a hand, with this. So, okay, I want to be super respectful of your time. I got a couple more questions. Okay, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
And by the way, burnout recovery, burnout breakthroughs. Find us on YouTube, Facebook. Go to my website, jeffmoody.com. You can pick up a book. I wrote a book called The Doctor's Burnout, Physician's Guide to Recovery. There's a course there. We're everywhere. We're like a bad rash, so you can't get rid of us.
That's coming out soon too, by the way.
Yeah,
Right?
September 29th. September 29th is coming out.
Okay.
So two last questions. I have heard, and I know that there are programs in place for Olympic athletes after you're done competing, because it's such an intense work focus and paradigm. Everything in your life is focused towards one thing, and you've obviously been doing this for many years, so your focus is probably longer. But what this is kind of the same question: what's next for Matt Scott, and what's your plan for avoiding kind of the post-Olympic, maybe letdown or crash?
It's a question that's sort of, it felt so far away for me to ask for such a long time.
Now
Now
it's getting a little closer.
Oh, I'm nose to nose with that question. And every season that goes by, I'm more and more close to having to answer that question. To be honest, I like to think that I have a lot of options. I'm very, very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate about the way I live life. And I've gathered quite a bit of life experience and knowledge in my long career. So my plan is to use that to the best of my ability, doing something that I'm equally passionate about, whether that's providing opportunities to kids that were like me, and that need an opportunity and an outlet to repurpose their emotion and find a way to overcome that adversity, or just sharing my story, because I do have quite a bit of a story, and I think I do think that I think a lot of people could benefit from hearing it, and I think that I have quite a way of sharing it. So hopefully I could sort of use that as a way to kind of springboard my way to a new career, and we'll see how that goes.
I think anyone would be lucky to get to hear your story and talk to you, and just take away kind of like a little piece of like how beautiful your soul is. I guess that's kind of the way I always think of it.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, well, and a couple years ago, we were lucky enough to Matt gave us a tour of the Olympic Training Center when he was there, and we live in Colorado Springs, so that was close for us. And at the end of the tour, I was like, okay, Matt, I only have two questions for you. When are you going to start your motivational speaking career? And when you run for public office, just let me know, because I want to make sure I vote for you. So that was my personal kind of career plan for him. Clearly, he's his own man, and he's going to make his own way. But
you might be on to something, Doctor.
I just you're going to do whatever you want to do. I think that's for sure. It's going to be awesome. And I just I'll be there. We'll be there, like supporting you and applauding you the whole way. So. Matt Scott, get a hold of Matt at Instagram.
Yep, Instagram at Matt Scott Fly at Instagram. Yeah, exactly.
If you want to see some amazing workout pictures, you've got to go to his Instagram. He doesn't have guns, he has bazookas, I think. I mean, it's unbelievable. So there's some great pictures there. Connect with Matt, he's a great guy. Support Paralympic sport. When you're in Colorado Springs, please head over to the Olympic Museum. Matt is in there. He's all over the place. There's actually an interactive hologram thing at the Olympic Museum with Matt, where you can ask him like what cheese he likes and where he's from and all sorts of stuff. It's awesome. So
it's cheddar, by the way. It's cheddar, by the way. Not to spoil your museum.
You got it live in person, right from him right now.
It was great having this conversation with you,
Matt. I'm just thrilled, and obviously anything we can do, you let us know. Get a hold of Matt, get a hold of me. Clearly burnout recovery is possible. We want to make sure that people know that this exists. There's services available for you, either with me or with anyone. Get the help you need to get better. JeffMoody.com, and sign up for our live stream, sign up for my email list. Go find Matt on Instagram. You'll love it. He's a great guy. And just remember, burnout recovery is for you. Thanks very much.